A very, very warm welcome to our preview to Sunday racing. It is a little bit of a swap around in consideration to the last few months. It's Highveld racing on Sunday. Saturday would have seen a racing in the Western Cape at the country course of Hollywood. Bets Durbanville. Right, it is the 4 racing welcomes you made in play to the start of an 8 racer program. Of course, with the feature season now getting underway, getting into full swing, there will be 1 or 2 races where the runners are in it for bigger fish to fry, so to speak. Prep runs, and some may just win when we discount them as having that prep run, as World of Alice showed us the other day, that there's no such thing as prep run with these class animals. Won a very nice race. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, Sess. How you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Yeah, she did. And I'm sure Mr. Zaki got it wrong on that occasion.
Yeah. That's, and he knows World of Alice even better than his mount on yesterday.
Correct.
Yeah. But how do you see the card on Sunday? It is a maiden plate over the 1400 meters that opens the proceedings. And a very sort of exposed horse, looks to have the form to be right in contention once again. This is Mr. James Crawford's Monkey Puzzle, who will be having a fourth run up here. Timothy Woodruff certainly doing a very good job with James here on the Highveld.
Yep, they're flying up on the Highveld, Sess. Now, this horse has obviously had 3 runs here. Last time out, just beats them for speed, I think. He was staying on throughout the running of that race. I mean, African Pride got away from him. African Pride beats a very, very competitive field at the Val next time out. Rondebosch, Bjorn Ironside, War of Kingdoms. He's got the draw to boot. That was a testing 1200 in the mud. I mean, he's been further in the Western Cape. So 1400 from a neat draw. I'll be very, very disappointed if he doesn't finish in the top 2, because he is my bipart banker. There are comments for the first timers. Number 7 and number 13 may need the experience. I'm just having a look at Hollywood Racing's comments, if you don't mind, while I pull it up.
The 8, yes, I can tell you that the 8 is a Culturati. It's a new predator out of an Ideal World mare, Arte. Do you remember Arte? Grant Maroon used to train. Stayed all day, right up to 3200. And the other Stokesy, fire away out of a Cahal mare, Bountiful Harvest. Over to you.
So number 8, we're hoping to see him running on, and this race will do him the world of good. Number 11, he is capable of finishing in the placings. This outing will bring him on nicely for future races. So not too much confidence, maybe place chances with regards to them. Have a look at number 10, the second favorite, says Space Mission. Now, yes, fair to date, but look who finished alongside him last time, and no disrespect to number 5, Stormburst. That doesn't excite me, so I'm not in his camp. Have a look at numbers 3 and 4. They've probably both run their best races to date over this very same course and distance. They could pose a threat over here. But yes, Monkey Puzzle, let's hope he finishes in the top 2. And number 2 could even be an improver now that he's been culled. But Monkey Puzzle, top 2 over here, in or out.
Right, out, and if you are in the first and second legs, you have taken it a few times, hopefully at that 12 rand as a full perm, then it could be a good end to the weekend. 10 minutes to 1 is your off time to that first of 8, as we resort to the stand side track at Turffontein. You can bet on us. A maiden plate for fillies and mares is over the 1400 meters. That is race number 2, and we should be underway on a Sunday afternoon at 13:25. Only one place to look, and if replicating that first run should take all the power of beating, and as such is priced up at around 12 to 10, 13 to 10. Anahita in those lucky colors of Mr. Chinsami, in partnership with Trevnan Pillay, a 3-year-old daughter of Vercingetrix, who is a full sister to Rascallion, I do believe. That is Anahita. Muzieni gets the ride. It is on the stand side track over the 1400 meters, draw 10. Does that worry you too much?
It is of concern. She will need luck, but she's getting stronger handling from the irons this time around. I'm not saying the Princess did anything wrong, but if there's one jockey you want to overcome a bad draw, is Muzi, because he takes no prisoners.
And he actually does. I've actually watched him quite a bit. He overcomes draws. It's actually an art, huh?
Yeah.
And he's mastered the art.
Now have a look at that form line, Sess. Now she was sandwiched in between 1, 2, Buckle My Shoe,
Shoe,
and Lady Blunt.
Lady Blunt.
Both of them have come out to win. The 5th place runner came out and ran second, Counselor, and she does hold War Talk. She was making her debut. War Talk was having her 4th start. Yes, War Talk was returning from a layoff, but surely she should be able to confirm that form. Now, have a listen to this, Cecil.
This
Number
is
7, Grace's Kiss.
I knew you.
Hollywood Racing
Uh-huh.
have said this. Well, not Hollywood Racing. Alec Laird has said this. The daughter of Eric the Red has put up pleasing gallops, and the stable are excited to see her race. If not green in running, she's in with a winning chance. Now that's very, very bullish from Alec Laird, isn't it?
It is very
She's
bullish.
related to Boundless Bash, Master of Paris, Curtis Condor. She's also got a tricky draw to contend with, but based on those comments, she could be a factor or a big, big threat to the favorite Anahita. Anahita, I don't believe will miss the top 3. I mean, we have to go into this race confident in the fact that she's going to get us through the opening leg of the place accumulator, banker number 5. But I really want to see if there's follow through with regards to number 7, Grace's Kiss, in the market.
Thank you so much. Back at the 5, and I heated to get it right at the second time of asking, or at least see you through that first leg of the PA, which closes at 13:25 with the running of race 2. Okay, so we get it to a graduation plate. It is an Allied Steel Road, a charity mile, a 1 November graduation plate over the 1600 meters. It is that time of the year once again. The barrier draw was done, so we should see the momentum pick up leading up to next weekend. But well done once again to the team, AWSM, Vaughan Rippon and Ms. Roon Chadha. They are fully committed to the charity mile. And on that note, a race named after their event, Baynak, after a very good win, what sort of a chance? I know we've got the most talked about horse in recent times, the Equator. I don't know who would be more talked about, Main Defender or the Equator.
Yeah.
All right, but on a serious note,
I can't wait for Main Defender to come back there.
we saw the Equator. You were at, okay, we were not together. You saw it on parade at Greyville on July Day. And I think most people who love their horseflesh, I was struck, but afterwards they said this is the best looking horse on the whole day.
Yeah, he's a smashing looking son of Galileo, and I'm sure it was a huge relief that he got the job done after that disappointing effort at Greyville. Now, opening the book, you're going to look at the best weighted column, and you're going to see that Parisian Walkway and the Equator are joint best weighted over here. But the Equator earned his rating of a slightly further, a mile on a firm track, prepping. You have to take all those factors into account. Is he going to get the job done? Is he that classy? I mean, Sunday we'll find out. Can he win? I think he can, but I'm not going to be rushing out to have a bet on him, knowing that his target is going to be the Betway Summer Cup. And I'm sure 2,000 meters, and generally there's a bit of giving the ground that time of the year. We normally come to the Betway Summer Cup in slosh conditions, and I think that's going to be ideal for him. Parisian Walkway, his biggest market rival, has had that pipe opener, and it was a cracking effort. He's tried further in recent times, and I just don't know if he's strong enough or if he sees it out. But over a mile, he's really, really decent. And take note, Mr. Laird's put a set of blinkers on, and I don't know if that's due to some feedback from Calvin, but if it is, you have to sit up and take note. But he's also still using this as a prep in the back of my mind. Baynak on that round behind Kant Hutik, who's well and truly held, but he's primed for this. He's absolutely cherry ripe for this type of event, and the same can be said with Impact Investor, who I wouldn't be shocked to see win. They're not in the same class as numbers 1 and 2, but I just got my doubts when it comes to this race. I've done this in the opening leg of the Pick Six. I've included number 8, Father Christmas, who I believe is going to be a late scratching. So if they do back Parisian Walkway into favoritism, I'm happy with that because he is my number 1 choice and will double up. like I said, I'm skeptical when it comes to this race. Yes. I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and I'm going to appreciate it because there's some class acts in here.
As you heard from the hypothesis man here, Father Christmas could be scratched, but if it does stand its ground, yesterday, that is Thursday, ran third and finished 0.90 lengths behind Paris Sprint, so just less than a length over the distance of 1450. We'll now get into race 4. This will be the start of the first of our 2 jackpots at Turffontein, and we're on the stand side track. And looking at the betting, well, you've got Olivia's Way at 3 to 1, 4 to 1, or thereabouts, and that is the one, a Son of Raj. There's a sibling of Son of Raj's who runs earlier on. Then you've got a Tani Player at 11 to 2, 15 to 2, Chestnut Bomber, it's 8 to 1, and a bet about those. What I thought yesterday, I think you know what I'm going to say. Talking about Tani Player, I thought Diwali Rocket was going to make it 2 wins from 2 Diwalis, because the last year I was working with Shalandra and it moved up, but it actually looked good.
So I was licking my lips at the 400. I said, how is this going to get beat? But anyway, I'm hoping Mr. Manu Pandaram is visiting the winner's enclosure on Sunday, a couple of days later. You know, this race, obviously, horses are prepping here, and Olivia's Way is best weighted. I'm not happy with her comeback effort. I can't see her winning 3 weeks later. That's just my opinion. I think based on that, she needs one more. Second best in is Marauding Horde. The exact same thing applies. Can I see him winning 10 days later after that effort? I can't. Then third best in is Son of Raj, who's 3 months off the track. So I don't think he's going to be at his best. Thani Player is fourth best in. And have a look at that effort last time out. In a very, very strong, Joburg Spring Challenge. Look at the weight and panel he carried. 50. He carried 58. And he was staying on over a distance short of his best. In that race was Lucky Lad. I know he wasn't at his best, but Lucky Lad's rated 124. He finished alongside him, also carrying 58. Texas Red is rated 120. He finished alongside him for 103, carrying the same weight. He's now stepping up to a more suitable distance. He's run 7 times over 2,000, and he's won 3. So this is probably his best trip. Have a look at Caden Brewer's record on Thani Player. Thani Player's won 5 times. Caden Brewer's assisted him in 3 of those victories. So I'm going into this race in Thani Player's camp in a big way. If many aren't in my camp and don't want to banker him, I suggest having a look at Hotter Ruby, because Hotter Ruby, funny enough, has got him held at the weights. But Hotter Ruby's a difficult customer. Only Striker Stratum got him to win. Barring that, he's so inconsistent. On his day, yes, he's capable, but he's my second choice. And then my third choice is Chestnut Bomber, who I believe is a little bit stretched at 2,000 meters. Yes, his only run was in the Grade 1 Premier's Champions Challenge, so he was outclassed, and he's had a lovely prep going into this race. But I just wish it was a mile or 1,800. But I do think based on his fitness, he could challenge for top honors. In order, 7, 6, 8. But like I said, Thani Player, what's it? Chicken or? Duck or no dinner? Or
duck or no dinner.
Yeah, duck or no dinner.
All right. So there it is. Bank at a 7. That is a confidence in a Thani Player by 2 and 7. And then it is horses and legs of 3 and 4. That is our first jackpot getting underway with the race 4. And the off time is 14:35. Right, for our start to the second jackpot, race 5, we will be racing today. Fillies and Mares 86, and they're going over the 2,000 meters. We have horses that I'm sure will be vying for favoritism in the form of the 2 Avo and Toast, and Future Date, the 4, from an inform St. John Grey stable, and then Free in Seattle, also from the St. John Grey stable, is also up there in the betting. DeMarco's Jet will be interesting. Callum Murray retains the right, and I see they put the blinkers on. And I remember an interview that he had conducted when he had won earlier on in the race, and he did say his next best, and he was hoping to get a win for Mr. Mowing, was on a DeMarco's jet. That was over the 1800. They go over the 2000, the blinkers are on, and I'm sure he'll be doing his utmost to try and fulfill that wish from last time.
Yeah. Mr. Mowing Washong had a winner a couple of weeks ago with Madame Pompadour, but he's also running very well. They're
Yes.
all in the money, so they're
Yes.
all earning checks. But he's just, I think you have to go into this race confident enough that she's in a good space. She does try the blinkers for the first time over 2,000 meters. Now this is a testing 2,000 at stand side, so if she relaxes in the running, I think she can pose a threat over here. Now, based on the latest form line, there's going to be nothing separating Future Date, the Marcos Jet, and Free in Seattle. Strictly at the weights and where they ran. If they repeat similar efforts, they should. There's nothing separating them. They should
Key
finish
worker,
in a.
you don't put into that same equation?
Who's that?
Key worker?
Nah. Now you're talking, sis. Key worker. Have a look at the pool because of the 4 kg claimer. I think that brings her into contention, and I actually give her a chance of reversing the form because of that the apprentice allowance. I'm not ignoring her chances. Yes, she never stayed in her penultimate start, and she has disappointed because we've expected so much more from her. But go back to that run beyond Free in Seattle. The 3 lengths. Have a look at what she's bet off at the weights over there with Free in Seattle. So she's going to be my second choice. Key worker. I think the pace is going to be genuine over here. There's quite a few that like to push forward. Lava Lamp, Future Date, Free in Seattle. So if she can just settle, she'll be staying on throughout the running of the race. But like I said, numbers 1, 3, and 4, nothing separating them. But go to Avo and Toast behind Kissing Machine. Avo and Toast beat Future Dates and is better off at the weights. So Avo and Toast has to be the one we're focusing on over here as the likely winner. 2 from 7 for me. But please let me stress, the race doesn't stop there. If you want to go wider, have a look at numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, just to be safe. But like I said, I've gone field in legs 2 and 3. I can't afford to go that many in the opening leg. 2 from 7.
2 and 7 are the suggested likely protagonists for that winner's check in race number 5. And of course, you and I, amongst others, met Avon Toast in a stable in the early days. And we all know that the stable think a lot of Avon Toast. That's a 2. And the 7, also highly regarded once upon a time, is Key Worker. We're into race number 6, a racing 240 fillies and mares, 76. It's over the 2,000 meters, and we should be underway with that first leg of the last pick 3 at around 3:45. Now, just having a look at a betting guide, and I stress it's a guide. It is Damuva in the colours, amongst others of Alan Preddy and Mrs. Wilson. In fact, it's her colours, but the likes of Alan Preddy are involved, a passionate man. You're going to find in racing that is at 19 to 1, 19 to 10, 2 to 1, boom, boom. Up there along with the Hazy Daisy, who was a scratching when Carter to run yesterday, as suggested by by Mr. Nostradamus next to me here. The 6 Hollywood Madam, also at 9 to 2, 5 to 1, and Better Bother. So you got Hazy Daisy right. You didn't get Father Christmas right, but
Yeah.
okay. So how do you see the race?
If I'm not mistaken, Hazy Daisy's in for Charity Mile there as well. Is she, says?
I haven't looked at the knobs and the entries for Charity Mile, to be quite honest. I was more focused on the, if anything, the Quebeca noms that is next Friday for the big race.
Okay, so she was scratched, we know, on Thursday. No, she's not in.
She's not in.
Utakaria, I'm of the opinion she was scratched with this race in mind. Now, you open the book, you'll see she's by Act of War, champion miler, but the dam was a sprinter. The second dam sprinted, so there's no stamina on the dam side. But you know, this isn't guaranteed that she isn't going to stay. Yes, you have to be wary. Will she see out the extra? If you watch her races, She doesn't tug. She was actually off the bit last time out, and she finished that race through all the way to the line, and she wasn't stopping. So it's a big step up in distance. It's a testing 2,000 meters. It's probably the hardest 2,000 in the country. And if there are any chinks in her armor, she's going to get caught out. I hope she sees it out, because I think she's a lovely filly. She looks like she's got a nice career ahead of her, and she's now peaking. So yes, I can see her winning, but in the back of my mind, there are some doubts. So she does form part of my play, but I'm certainly not bankering her. Now, Boom Boom, on the other hand, says she's by Erupt, a mile and a half horse. The dam stayed all day, quick single. I mean, the dam went over 2,000 meters. Here's a filly that's only tried 2,000 meters once in the past, but she might have been too weak at that stage of her career. 3 runs back when Chad Little ran her or rode her over 1,800, she probably quickened better than what I expected. So the pace is going to be on over here, and I think I'm going to be leaning towards Boom Boom as the likely winner. I don't know what happened with Craig Zaki and Demover. I mean, he's 2 from 2 on her, and yeah, we see her aboard. We see him aboard Hollywood Madam. I don't know what the story is over there, but Hollywood Madam and Bold Action, nothing separating them on the sheets and goggles run. I don't know what happened there, Craig. I don't know if it was your choice or not, but I'm scratching my head. Yeah, so all things equal, I think this is a tricky race. I'm looking for an upset over here. My first choice is number 1, Boom Boom.
Maybe it could be that Craig makes the same mistake twice in a week. Let's hope it's not the case. What was it? Tina Lovelace and
Yes,
World of
Alice,
Alice.
yeah.
But I know these things will happen. You have to just put your head down and say, this is what I want to do. Boom, boom. That is the tentative selection. Did I say tentative or confident?
No, it's sensitive.
Tentative. Boom, boom. In race 6, number 1. We get to race number 7 now. This is the Betway Summer Cup, 29 November. Conditions played is over the 1160. We should be getting that update to the entries for the second update to the entries for the Summer Cup in the not too distant future. We had 42 runners listed. And of course, Seed Again was the top of that list. In race 7, you can put a line through number 2, Barbaresco. Now, we're recording on a Friday for Sunday, and the only scratching that had come through up until now, let us hope that that is still the case, is indeed a Barbaresco that was scratched indeed, and that is still the case. A quick refresh. But that is the story. Now, the distance will be 1160. And a couple of 2-year-old superstars that now 4-year-olds are lining up. Buffalo Storm Cody and Almond Sea. If memory serves right, this was the first Buffalo Bill Cody to win Buffalo Storm Cody and hasn't disappointed. Last seen winning the Group 1 on Gold Cup Day at Hollywood Bets Gravel. Richard Free is aboard. Gavin was aboard then. And let us see if it's a case of needing the run, but seems to run well fresh, does the Buffalo Storm Cody.
All class since being gelded. I mean, just getting better and better. What a win last time out when winning the Grade 1 says. I mean, yes, he's got the booking of Richard Free and he's the class act. But is he going to be anywhere near his best returning from 3 months? Listen, it is a sprint, and I don't know how much how fit he has to be to get away with it. But I don't think he's going to be primed. That's for certain. There's a lot of meat left on the bone. Can I see him winning? Absolutely yes. Now I wish I read the comments on the Gold Circle website, because, like I said, if the comments don't feature in computer form, you can find them on the Gold Circle websites under publications. And I wish I did this prior to reading them now when going on air, because Mr. Azzy, the bet I've suggested over here is a place on his horse, Winds of Change. He says first run post gelding will need the run. So now that's a huge concern, because that's a span in the works for me, because I thought carrying 54 gelded, have a look at the best weighted column, he's second best in behind Fire Attack, who's earned his rating of a much further. He's going to be a huge run over here, and he's got 6 kgs on Buffalo Storm Cody. But now, Mr. Azzy said, we'll need the run. So what do I do now?
I think you'd best heed Mr. Aziz's advice. Winds of Change, no doubt about the ability, but has been expensive to
Yeah.
follow. I think was the highest rated maiden,
Maiden.
In the country at once. The highest rated horse as a maiden.
Now, I like the fact that you touched on that maiden because when he won his maiden, he was returning from a 6-month layoff. Now he's only been off 3 months. So maybe he catches Mr. Asman by surprise. But yeah, what a race. We cannot ignore Great Tricks. I mean, we have to give him another chance, surely.
Said was
Fire
been
attack.
blowing, yeah.
Fire Attack on the Betway got the green light run. He's 3.5 kilograms better off with Great Tricks. And he's a top class individual. You know what it says? I'm still going to be leaning towards a place bet on Winds of Change. I'm hoping he can run into the money and we show a small profit. Once again, this is the type of race I'm going to be watching with keen interest only.
Okay, that is race number 7. Thank you very much, Winds of Change. Now coming through after that gelding, which occurred towards the end of July 2025. All right, we'll bring the curtain down on a weekend local racing with the running of race number 8 at Turffontein, and with the next Turffontein race meeting Thursday, the 30th of October, merit rate at 74, and that'll be 2 days prior to us converging on Turffontein once again for that very, very worthy cause. That is the 2025 Elroad Steel Road Charity Mile. Now, let's talk about race number 8. It's a field of 8, Mr. Marie, and just having a look again, this is the guide. The one Xenophon would be at around 2-1, 33-10, pump last grind, 9-2. His Lordship, legendary. That is one of your, in fact, the second biggest outside at 4-1. Others in single digits, you've got Prize Platinum, 8-1, 6-1. And that would be Spy's Story. Now, Spy's Story, there's indeed a story from yesterday. Was backed into 9-4 from 4-1, finished third, looked dangerous at one stage, and that was 4 lengths behind Mr. Wilson over the 1200 meters on the classic track of the Vaal.
He's had quite a bit of racing recently, but that's it's not like an issue because Mr. Gray's not scared to run them. So let's see if he lines up. Because it is a small check and he can certainly earn another stake check for Mr. Gray. So what's wrong with going home with 16 or 8 grand if he happens to run second or third? Can I see him winning? No, because I want to ask you something. It says, how are your throwing skills?
Throwing skills?
Yeah.
Not bad.
How far can you throw a stone? Right. That's how far I expect Xenophon to win by.
Okay.
I think he's a penalty kick. If he just gets out the pens in a safe manner, Craig Zaki just has to stay on him and point him in the right direction. I think he's way better than a 78.
You mean he has to repeat the ride on Xenophon as he did with Miss Monroe? Jump and go.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't want to see that.
You wouldn't want to see that?
No, I'd like to
just
see...
point it.
Just point him.
Okay.
Get some cover. I prefer to see him get some cover. Not cutthroats.
Yes.
But the penny has dropped for this horse. Last time out, the going was bottomless. He was traveling so hard, I thought he was going to fall in a hole. Despite that, he's still plugged on to run second, get beaten by Hong Kong. The horse who ran just behind him on that occasion came out and won in Palace Prince. B. Manesquez also franked the form. I think this horse will win on Sunday, and he'll win again next time out in the right field. That's how well handicapped I believe he is. And if he doesn't cess, my family is going to be watching Survivor on their own. I'm going to be in my room sulking.
You like Survivor after all these episodes? 48, is it? Xenophon, you need to survive that, and it should be the end of a wonderful weekend. Of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is racing on Friday at Fairview Racecourse in Quebec, and it is the Algoa Cup, which has attracted a great deal of classy entries. For now, thank you very much, Daryl, and thanks to the entire Waiter to Win team.